This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it is CGB, and today in the arena, I am really excited to bring to you my climb back into the Mythic Top 1000 with a deck that is really close to my heart. I'm just being optimistic. I haven't done the top 1K thing yet. But anyway, this deck is very close to my heart. And what do you do when the aggro decks begin to truly take over the meta? Yes, the Sultai Ultimatum is probably the strongest deck, but now everybody is playing mono white and rogues and red to combat it. And those matchups are matchups that can beat the Sultai Yorion deck. So what is the pivot? How do you respond when the meta gets too aggressive? The answer: cheap, thick, life-linking threats. And cheap is relative in terms, in these kind of terms. In control terms, cheap is like 4 mana instead of like 6 mana like a Dream Trawler. So we are playing blue-white Nico Archon. And this is a really fun combo, actually. Archon of Sun's Grace, a 3/4 flying lifelink that gives Pegasus creatures lifelink. When an enchantment enters the battlefield, you make a 2/2 white Pegasus creature token with flying. And it has lifelink as long as you have the Archon, because your Pegasus creatures have lifelink. So that's good with enchantments. We play a lot of enchantments. We play Omen of the Sea. We play Birth of Meletis. We play Omen of the Sun. We play Elspeth Conquers Death. We even play Shark Typhoon, 4 copies. But what it really shines with is this kind of exciting, but I think at this point underrated and barely played Planeswalker from the new set, Nico Aris. Nico minuses to create shard tokens, and when Nico enters the battlefield, you pay X to create X shard tokens. Shard tokens are, if you look over here, if I move the mouse, it'll disappear. But if you look over to the right and you look at the token, it says token enchantment. Token enchantment. It's like right there on the card. Token enchantment. It's an enchantment. It creates a token that's an enchantment. When an enchantment enters the battlefield, you get a Pegasus. So when Nico minuses to create a shard, Pegasus. If you have Archon of Sun's Grace on the battlefield and you play Nico, say on curve for X is 2, you get 2 Pegasus, and then you minus and you make another Pegasus. And all of those can be used to draw cards in the future. So it's a robust, powerful engine that aggro decks hate. The rest of the deck is things aggro decks hate anyway, with Omen of the Sun and Skyclave Apparition. A few of these cards are very important. Some of the problems for a deck like this right now is that Doomscar isn't very good, right? Destroy all creatures isn't good if the opponent is using Seasoned Hollowblade and Selfless Savior and they're just protecting their stuff. So we have to get that stuff exiled with, say, Skyclave Apparition, or bounced with Brazen Borrower, or we have to run them out of cards to discard, or we ambush their saviors with Omen of the Sun and Shark Typhoon. So plays like that keep them from absolutely overpowering us with their indestructible nonsense, and then Doomscar can actually be effective, and if Doomscar is effective, we can follow it up with Archon and take over the game. To battle the ramp decks, you do need some amount of counter spells. I'm running the new one, Saw It Coming. Saw It Coming is okay. It's not the greatest. It does give this deck another dimension to its foretell because it has 12 foretell cards. We'll get to the last one in a minute. The other was Doomscar. But Saw It Coming is a universal counter, so it comes in handy. And you have to draw it against the ultimatum decks, or you usually get beaten. Although the deck has surprisingly good game against the ultimatum decks. It can play a good flash game. For example, if they get Vorinclex and Tibalt, you bounce the Vorinclex with the Tibalt on the stack with the Borrower. Their Tibalt comes down, it's just a regular Tibalt. You untap, you Elspeth Conquers Death it. They have Vorinclex stuck in their hand. Maybe they play it the next turn, and then you Doomscar. You are flexible. You can do things against them. There are 4 Shark Typhoons to keep up the draw-go kind of thing with Brazen Borrower. But similar to what we saw in the Taking Turns deck, we have 4 Alrund's Epiphanies. We'll move these kind of special lands down here. We have 4 copies of Alrund's Epiphany, which is the last foretell card. So if the opponent wants to play a slower game with us instead of an aggro vroom vroom game, we can kind of pick our spots, keep our mana open, play an Omen here, flash in a Brazen Borrower there. On the end of their turn, make a Shark, and then on our turn, get extra turns and try to attack them down and put them in a really tough spot. So that's the other game plan of the deck. Auron's Epiphany is also just really good once you have an Archon and a few tokens on the battlefield to gain a bunch of life and completely turn the tide, shift the clock, flip the script, whatever you want to call it. In the mana base, I have a whole bunch of lands, and I'm not sure which ones I'm supposed to run. I have 1 Castle Ardenvale, 1 Castle Vantress, 1 Gates of Istfell, 1 Field of Ruin. This one I'm really kind of want more of because Faceless Haven is everywhere. 1 Emeria's Call, 1 Seagate Restoration. They all have their spots. They also all have spots where they wreck you when you draw too many of them or you draw them in the wrong combos. So right now, going with 1 of each is how I am testing the deck. That's the build. That's the pile. We're trying to take some good things from the Mono Blue Turns deck, combine them with some good things from the Go Big White Wrath deck, and build it around Archon and Nico Ares so that we can take over the game and end it very quickly with a fleet of Pegasus. And yeah, that's what's up. Deck dedication. Magic Community, the newest member of the CGB Dojo, the Cool Kids Club Dojo, is literally called Magic Community. I think that's awesome. So in your honor, we're going to pick up a cosmetic. What's one I've never gotten? I guess Omen? No, these are all cosmetic. Man, in blue-white, I just have it all. I'm sorry. How about Gates of Istfell? That's pretty sweet. In your honor, Magic Community, thank you very much for joining and becoming a member to support the channel. Thank you to all the members. 287 now. Freaking amazing. You guys are awesome. Members get extra videos. There's 15 of them right now. And just today, I heard from Maddie B, Covert Go Lore, episode 3 is updating for the members. It's uploading now. You're going to love it. Let's dive in. Let the blue-white control nonsense begin. Number 264. A good launching platform into the numbers on the play. Let's go. We don't need land number 5, I don't think, right this second. I think we'll draw into that just fine. Is it mono red? Oh, let's go. I'm down. I think I'm down. Mono red's not that bad with Archon. Archon is kind of a trump there. Rimrock Knight. Yes, yes, good. All right. Pass turn, mana open. We can 1/1 Shark block this thing. We can also Brazen Bounce. We can also Omen, but Omen goes best with an Archon. Okay. I think I want to get one of these dead. Let's go for the Omen of the Sun. Two life. Block a Rimrock Knight. If the opponent shocks or bone crushes the 1/1 here, they get to keep their Rimrock Knight. I think I'm okay with that, though. It uses the rest of their mana. It uses the rest of their turn. They don't deal me any damage. Now we will Fable Passage crack. Go fetch more blue because we can fetch white. We'll play the Archon of Sun's Grace. And we don't want to have to block with it. We want to take no risk on the opponent removing this. The opponent swings in. Their Embercleave is itching. So we'll throw the blocks we threw last time. The opponent will play the Embercleave, attach it to the Rimrock Knight, get in a big chunk of damage. And then their life will start to fall apart, one Pegasus at a time. Here's the birth. Find another land. We'll go ahead and use the passage, thin our deck for more land. Now, do we use Borrower this turn? Or do we buy the Yorion? Because Yorion next turn is pretty devastating as well. This does 8, but this can block 4 of it. I think we buy Yorion and attack because of lifelink. We want to get that life total moving. Now for your next trick, Mono Red. I hope you have more for us than just an Ember Cleave. Are you really just a little sword? Is that all you are? Okay. That's pretty tough. That's pretty tough. Alright, so we'll throw this 0-4 here to absorb a big amount of the hit. Then we're going to take some big damage down to 5. And the opponent has a charger. So we may not be able to play Yorion here. We may actually have to use the Brazen Borrower, unfortunately. Although, if we play the Yorion, we get 2 more Pegasus tokens and a 4/5. And the life. And they can't Ember Cleave everything. Our hand is a bit awkward. This is a saucy play. All the way back up to 12. 2 more life linkers. The opponent's attack really doesn't look that good, because if they attack with the other things, oof. But if they get rid of the Archon, we lose lifelink on our Pegasus tokens, which could be devastating. They go for the Yorion. They must have another? Oh my goodness. They're so stacked. I think that's game. All right, there's a lot of damage. Let's kill the Torbrand, because we can here. And make our other blocks. And see how it shakes out. So they top-decked one of those, which feels really bad. Down to 2, the Fireblade Charger drops us to 1 because the Torbrand is dead. What a turn. What a messed up turn from the opponent. All right, how do we recover? Probably make a 3/3 Shark to block the giant. Brazen Borrower, bounce the cleave. Hold! Do not top deck a burn spell. 1 time. They can just replay the cleave, can't they? Son of a... Okay, so we have to bounce the Rimrock Knight, no choice. Nico doesn't gain life. If the opponent activates the castle, let's try to tempt them into activating the castle here. If they activate the castle, they can't replay the cleave. So we're giving them a tempting little 2/2. All right, they're trying to pass to first strike damage. So if we let the first strike damage go through, this dies. And we lose this 2/2, but we keep the knight. But then we bounce the Rimrock Knight after that, and they lose their Fervent Champion. Oh, wait. Yeah, they've already dealt damage. So they can pump the Fervent Champion now, but it's not going to deal damage again. Frostbite's a good play, but it doesn't kill me. I wonder why they didn't do that earlier. We have to find something to live through this giant. I guess we have Omen and Nico here. We have 2 giants to kill, though. We have 6 toughness. There's another borrower. All right, so Nico can kill a giant after an Omen, and then that's 4 mana. We get a shard, and we have a Brazen Borrower left over. It can target the Bone Crusher giant. We really don't want to, though. A castle. God, all land off the top. Feels bad, man. Actually, if we target the giant, we lose, don't we? So we actually need the opponent to commit here. And they don't have to. So I think we're just dead unless they mess up. Because they can replay the cleave. So we need them to tap a mana somehow.
That's what a perfect throw looks like.
We need them to tap... Oh wait, they have to equip the cleave. They don't have the mana to replay the cleave. They have to equip it. Okay, still in it. Still in it. Let's see if we can get them to pay 2 life and rimrock their own Bone Crusher. They've been a good mono red player. They haven't made a bunch of terrible plays. I guess I shouldn't have double blocked here because now they can. Well, I guess I want them to, right? I think I want them to use the Rimrock Knight. Because if they use the Rimrock Knight to kill both of these, then they don't deploy another creature unless they have exactly a 1-drop in their hand. And if they have no creature going into next turn, I have time to stabilize. So I guess this is a good thing. We draw the app. The app could come down and exile the Bone Crusher. I guess we want that. We could also draw a card here with the Nico. And then Nico could kill the Bone Crusher. Which then the opponent doesn't get a 3/3 if it dies. But if we have this on the field, that's kind of good. Okay, what I want to do is get Brazen Borrower out and start using Nico with it. So let's do this. No, enough land. Oh my goodness. All right, play this. Minus, kill the giant. Pass the turn, we can make a 1/1. Or we can deploy both borrowers. When we play a borrower, we plus the Nico, we attack, then we get the borrower back. All right. God, they're so annoying. So with Embercleave, I'm dead, right? No, they don't have enough mana. If they steal a non-land card, I am going to tilt. I am going to tilt. Yay. Now we don't get the Brazen Borrower line, though. But we do have to block here. If we don't, they castle pump and win. My God, they're annoying. Epiphany. Nice. All right. Do we play Skyclave? Next turn we can bounce it, but they get the token. Just as bad. Let's play the Borrower instead. We can bounce the creature that they, you know. Doomscar. Let's go, team. Bounce back the Borrower. Doomscar the board. It took a while, but we found our spells. I'm sure they think I'm annoying too, by the way. I keep saying they're annoying. I'm sure they think I'm annoying. They're saying, why won't you just die? I'm saying the same thing. Okay, they're saying good game, fine. That was a good game. That actually was. Oh my goodness. Ah! All that and I can't get off 99% Mythic? I beat somebody in the top 300. Okay, top 1500 opponent. not getting paired down. In theory, I should be able to win and rank up, but it hasn't happened. Oh my god, this hand. Did it have to be the Amiria's Call? Well, we will try it. We do have a... In theory, we could have a turn 3 Doomscar. No companion from the opponent. Domri Avatar. Smells aggressive to me. No pet, no time for pet. This is mono red, nothing but mono red. Okay, that will play the turn 3 Doomscar. If that's even the play. They didn't play anything on 2. They don't have Robber. All right. So we could play the Birth, or we could... Oh man, what are we gonna do? So they kept a hand with no 1-drop. I think Annex is very likely, which I think means we have to be ready to Skyclave. Not doing 2 and 3 Doomscar. What's wrong with this gamer? We also have Nico available next turn behind a wall, which could be good. Okay, they go Phoenix. We could set up the Doomscar now. We have a blocker. We're only taking 2, and they didn't play an Annex. But I think the play is Nico. Nico the Phoenix. I know it might come back later, but we're a ways away from that.
Right on target.
And now the opponent has to deal with the Nico through a wall. They could power up the Haven and go after it. Robber does it too. But now they're... Okay, they Frostbite it. That's fine.
Can improve now.
They steal my Birth. And they have a Phoenix over here. If we fill the graveyard, I guess the Phoenix comes back. Then we have to exile it. All right. How do we do this? I don't want to blow up my wall. I don't want to play the Skyclave. So this could just be a Foretell and a Scry and a hope that it's not Embercleave kind of thing. The opponent gets to rob the borrower. That was a bad Scry. How do I still forget that after all this time? Just one of my talents, I guess. Ouch. But at least it dies to Doomscar. That's good for the Phoenix. This will set up a wall next turn. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. They still have Faceless Haven to follow up after they get their Phoenix ECD'd. But we'll have a wall to block it for at least a turn. Huh. That's different escape animation. What happened to the chains? They got rid of them? Weird. Angels next turn. That's pretty good. I was just about to say, maybe I should keep a land I don't even want on top of my deck because they're just going to play a Robber. All right, so Brazen my 0-4. Brilliant. Nico, back up to 8. Taxed for the turn. I think we play the Amiria's Call because I don't know how they manage it. I mean, that's a lot of beef. So now let's see what happens. Is this the turn you have to take a chill pill, mono red? Take a chill pill, bro. That's so 90s of me. Nope. Nope. Mono red never chill. Mono red attack always. Mono red always triumph. Get back Nico.
Break free of it.
We have Apparition. Take out the Torbran. Do we want to do something like Omen first, just in case? I think what I really want to do is Apparition and buy Yorion. I think. Maybe not, though. Maybe double Omen is too good. Let's make a shard. Pass the turn. No Frostbite. Good. Not attacking because of the Haven. I mean, we're running them out of stuff. This should work. Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. Make a 4/4. Seems nice. Mono red never stop playing. Okay. Omen. 8 mana can also buy Yorion. But that just draws 2 cards at this point. Let's keep both, I think. We need the land drop and we want the Omen. And we want these on the board because the Yorion is coming. Thin? I guess it's thin. It's thinned either way. You know, we'll draw into another land anyway. Let's be aggressive here. That's why. That's why. Birdies.
Docked and ready to go.
Shark Typhoon. Seems nice. More shards.
I can see more clearly now.
I think... do we buy Yorion here? Because whatever they... I guess we can also Shark here. Alright, say go. We also need to counter the Embercleave that they're going to draw. Maybe not this turn. Stunning, actually, but eventually they will. Alright, everything's coming. A Shark is an absolute monster here. They're going to get to cast an Omen. Because this is a rogue, after all. If they tap the Faceless Haven to cast the Omen and leave up 2 red, they still can't Embercleave. Nom. Tradesies. Although, let's trade with the Giant. The reason to leave them a blue creature, it doesn't get pumped by Torbrand, and we kill it with Brazen Borrower. Two to the bottom. Post-combat Robber of the Rich. Lands located. God, I didn't have an island in play. That's a wow. All right, so Omen, saw it coming, looks good.
Get in a shark. I'll throw you.
Stay on the defense. Never stop defending. Wow. Let's see what you steal. Although it could be a counter spell, so we should probably resolve this now. Seagate Restoration. They need another land to play that, and it doesn't do much. Blocks. Dead red creatures. Love it. Sad Birth of Meletus. Good job. Good one. The Annex Hardened in the Forge. I think that's fine. We just want to counter Embercleave at this point. We'll find an answer to Annex. We have many. Okay, that's a lot of nice life and tokens. And there's an ECD. Don't plus the Nico until after they attack, if we're going to plus it. I guess we can make another shard instead.
Gotta prepare for the next throw.
Not foretelling because I want the option to also omen. If you're wondering why I haven't foretold the saw it coming, it's because I always had more options to use with my mana on the next turn. We want the omens on the field, we want the life, we want the creatures, we want it all. On the back of the blood and tears of Mono Red, into the top 1500 for the first time this season. My God, is it hard to climb back in after a week off, but here we are. All right, top 600 gamer. Are they also Mono Red? This hand seems good. We'll see where it goes. Oh my goodness! What happened? And one day they were only Mono Red. One day only Mono Red existed. So I don't think I want to use Brazen Borrower. That's to blow out the Ember Cleave. Maybe I'm wrong though. I think though... Okay, if we bounce something, we might be able to play Nico and kill the other something. So let's use the Borrower here. Let's save the Borrower. Okay, you attack. It's fine. It's fine. What else? What else you got? If they say go, it's Bone Crusher Giant, which is annoying. It's a Fireblade Charger that does not have haste. And it's another Fireblade Charger. Good lord. All right. Away. They can probably still kill the Nico, but it's a good tempo play anyway. They'll have to use a spell and their charger.
We can all improve and create a better tomorrow. I've got you all figured out.
I get you all figured out, yeah. That's good, especially if they lack a land.
Not like being
They do lack a land. We do not lack land. We have way too many. Okay. Okay, then. We're still going to have to somehow outvalue them, though. This game might get tough. Because we've drawn lots of the mana. The opponent does get to trade here with both tokens. That's fine, though. May as well block with both, so they can't use any crafty tricks. And it might even tempt them to use a Rimrock Knight. Next turn is probably foretell two things. Take a punch from something. Looks like it'll be a charger. They still have a handful of gas. Maybe we just buy Yorion. All right, foretell the Doomscar because it's a good discount. This, when you cast it for full price, isn't that bad, and I'm not in a hurry to play it next turn. I want to play Epiphany when I get to attack with some things, get more value on the board, stuff like that. All right, they drew the best land in their deck, Faceless Haven. We draw a Castle Vantress. Man, Wrath doesn't look great here. But Yorion does. Is that the play? It's a lot of stats on the field. All right, now they're hitting the land. Is this the Ember Cleave? Sure is, guys. Sure is. All right, so there aren't any good blocks against Ember Cleave here. The Phoenix could just trade. If we block here like this and they Ember Cleave it, the Charger, then... Or they might just trade here and we keep the Yorion. Do I want them to play this Ember Cleave? Not really. If I do this, they trade with both anyway. All right. Mono red only Ember Cleaves. Always and forever. If they deploy another creature, we're pretty happy, because then we can Doomscar in the future. And it looks like they have decided not to put all their eggs in the Embercleave basket. Huh. Okay. Birdos. Field of Ruin is good for the Haven. And then I think we have to Doomscar because we just drew too many land. If they bring out the bird, we can block it with Borrower. It's all their mana to do that, if they have the mana even. Didn't check. All right. They're rebuilding their field with Rimrock Knight. They're at 10. We could go aggro Borrower, but I don't think that's gonna work. I think we have to stop drawing land. Nico. Nico can make a lot of shards, but can't defend us from the Embercleave next turn. We're at 16 though. We should survive it. It's also a distraction. Let's scry first. Shark Typhoon. Sure. Blue, blue, white, 1.
New worlds? Mean I get to learn so many new things.
We're still not very well defended, but we can force the opponent to double attack this.
I can get you past their defenses.
Okay, no cleave unless they drew the land. They also don't get the card because they have 2 in their hand.
I learned a lot today.
So Nico gained 5 life and drew us a card. Not bad. Our next card has to be better. It's another frickin' land. Oh no. Oh no. Gold Span Dragon, huh? All right. And they'll have 4 attackers, and this makes double mana, so they can also cleave. They might not have the cleave, they're down to 1 card, but they usually have the cleave. Maybe they'll play it pre-combat to try to get the robber trigger. Okay, they don't get a robber trigger. So if we do like this, we get a 5/5, and we can play Brazen Borrower to block the dragon. And we have mana left over if we draw Saw It Coming to counter the cleave, which they don't have because there was no stick. So I think we block the Goldspan Dragon here. My turn. Let's sack the Omen and get some good draws. Better than land. Okay. Kind of doing it. Kind of doing it. Another close game. You can't say it's not entertaining sometimes when you fight mono red. 2 life and 2 cards off the gates might be the play coming up. Don't know if we've got other good choices. So if they bring back the Phoenix, we can block it with Borrower. If they power up the Faceless Haven, we can hit it with Field of Ruin. This is all on the table stuff. If their last card isn't Embercleave, but it is a spell, it must be another creature, and Torbran is the one I was afraid of. It makes sense, though. It makes sense. However, these are just trades. And not the best either. Just a Torbran over there. Very lonely. Man, red decks without cleave, what are they even? Just piles of bad creatures. Last card, post-combat robber. Huh, okay. All right, this is big. Can we scry up some good cards? That's a good one. Can we activate gates after doing this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need this and this open, and then we need blue and blue and white. We need white, and we need white here. So blue, blue, blue. Does that leave open what we need open? Blue, blue, white. Yeah. Don't want to make a mistap mistake in a moment like this, guys. Hold it all open. We don't know if we need to flash in the Borrower to block the Phoenix. The opponent top decks a land. Robber still can't steal anything. This is not in our hand. They can power up Haven, but we can hit it with the Field of Ruin. Lots of good stuff in the graveyard if we get there. Where are our Archons? They're supposed to win these mono-red matchups for me. All right, they power up the Haven. They want to force me to use that Field of Ruin. Good choice, I think. Let's see what they attack with. They attack with All, which is also a good choice. Now, we could gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, and go to 3 and kill the Haven, but I think we should use the field while we can. Now, they're going to go fetch a red. The red is going to allow them to play the Bone Crusher Giant. Let's kill the Robber. The one Field of Ruin doing its job here. We'll deploy the Borrower. If we draw a Nico, we're gonna want it. Okay. Man, we're going to a virtual 1 here. We have to hold this for the bird. And we have the gates. Foretell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still have 3 mana left over after we gates. Maybe we're supposed to gates now. because we can still play our land. That's an Archon. If the opponent pulls Embercleave, though, I think we lose, so let's hold it. Nico coming back next turn. Can plus on the Borrower. Borrower can attack, come back to hand. Never-ending Petty Theft can be kind of a lock against Mono Red and their Embercleaviness. Giant down and we go to 3. What's the plot? What is the plot? Nothing.
Will be a new experience for both of us.
No shards. All right, put the opponent in the lock.
You know what hit 'em.
They're at 10. We don't need to attack with this turn. We just win next turn. Back in my hand. Maybe it just occurred to them what's going to happen and they're holding Frostbite. Here's my 3/4 life linker. I think I've got you. I think we're going 3 for 3 against Mono Red on this day. The good old Mono Red farming is back. The mediocrity of Percentage Gamer is being washed away. Fervent champion, robber of the rich, Castle Emberwrath, Phoenix made of ash. Uh-huh. What you gonna do, attack? Don't make me laugh. Time for a victory lap. Just bounce Phoenix, attack, and win? No, we do that now anyway. We're fine. This is fine.
I can get you past their defenses.
What you got? Oh, they're not dead yet. Okay, fine. Fine. You know, I don't mind another turn. I don't mind another turn. Tactical missing of lethal. I think it's been a while since I actually missed lethal. Maybe like a week. Look at Nico just locking down this game. Flexing those muscles. All right. It's fine. Don't need the petty theft here. Check this out. Make shard token. Just one of the many talents of the card. They're enchantments, guys. They're enchantments. Admirable. But no. I saw that coming. I'm going to kill you. You will not deny me my pleasure. Number 70. Lo-Fi Interstate. You want to rumble? All right. Risky hand. Very risky hand. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm not afraid. We just need to find a plains with our turn 2 Omen. Or if we top deck one, we'll just foretell the Doomscar. Ugh. Okay. Game on. But against Selfless Savior, foretelling Doomscar doesn't look so good, does it? That said, next turn we can ambush with Shark Typhoon. This all saves Omen to go with Archon potentially, which is great. Speaker is here. Speaker is here. Nice. All right. The Field of Ruin can definitely come out later. Let's commit to one side or the other. Let's commit to double blue. It looks like a counterspell play and they don't see the Doom Scar. No, we want to fetch an island because... No, wait, we already have our Castle Vantress. We don't need to fetch an island. All right. Overthinking it. You know, what I do. But we're going to Shark Typhoon ambush the Savior. Hushbringer in the house, of course. Opponent doing the thing. And they attack with the Savior. If they hadn't attacked with the Savior, this would get really dicey really fast. But since they did, I'm feeling okay. So we want to make it look like we're going to do this. But then it's like, oh, because of this, we're just going to do this. We don't want them to think about an indestructible being useful next turn. We want them to play one more 1-drop. No, but not that one. All right. Okay, so we Doomscar here. And then next turn we can Nico the thing that survived. Double dog, double speaker, huh? Must be nice. Oh yeah, we can't Nico the survivor. It has vigilance. God, these cards are broken. No! Oh my goodness, what a treatment. What a treatment we are getting. All right, if they have removal of the Sun's Grace, we just lose, I think. But we have to go for it. Isn't much else we can do. Okay, okay, okay. Maybe there is more we can do. Double Faceless Haven. We have one Field of Ruin. Our opponent goes to double Aspirant here. They're going to attack. They get to make Angels. Do we block this? I think so. And then we Doomscar. If they have another dog, I'm going to explode. Oh my god, that scared me. That actually scared me. Trying to save the Seagate. We'll see if it pays off or not. Here comes Faceless. But if that's their whole turn, we're happy, because we have a field for the next time. ECD with no targets. Do we just make a whole bunch of thingies? I guess so. I mean, we may as well play the Restoration. The opponent will really want to attack with the Haven with this, and we basically get 4 cards out of it for later. So we don't need to cast Reborn anymore. We've got a pile of shards. Could have had one more shard if we'd played the Reborn last turn. So, a little short-sighted. Whoa! Well, okay. Another shard token. Nice stack of enchantments I got here for a rainy day. In the graveyard, we have an Archon. That would be nice. If the opponent kills the Nico, we get the Nico back. That's nice too. They're ignoring Nico. So now they're going to try to use sick ninja moves to finish the job. We could minus this and then get the Nico back, but if we have this on the battlefield with the Archon, it's pretty awesome.
Fight well together.
Let's see if we hit land. Try to keep the mana going. Birth kind of does. And another Nico can be a ton of shards with the Archon, so yeah, we'll keep and pass. Because we want this. We want another Nico to make 1,000,000 Pegasus tokens and really flex. All right, Faceless power up. Into the Field of Ruin. They saw me keep on top, that's why. But we have Omen. All right, get back Archon. +1/+1 counter. Make a Shard. Make a Pegasus.
Stay sharp.
Birth. Make a Pegasus. Hit land drop. Nico for 3. 3 more Pegasus. Nico, make a Shard token. Make a Pegasus. Attack for 1. I'll show you Lifelink. Lifelink on a level that you never dreamed of. Okay, fine. I thought about bouncing my Archon with the Nico too. Oh wait, I couldn't because I couldn't attack. Still, we've got many attackers here. We're doing okay. Opponent not surrendering. I don't know whether to respect it or cringe. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shard token. Buy Yorion. Cast Yorion.
Back to practice.
Send a message.
Another good clean match.
More omens can't be too bad. Have you had enough pain? Have you suffered enough? Sky Mall. Sword of the Realms. Feeling strong. No attacks. You can't block this Yorion. Now we could attack our opponent for lethal here. Or we could toy with their mind. I know which one I like to do. Some people are gonna hate this. I understand. I do understand. But in the name of content, in the name of the noodle of the sky, it must be done. How long do they want to play? I'm playing around Settle the Wreckage. Stop giving me a hard time. I don't get to do what I want to very often in life anymore as an adult. So I'm gonna spam stuff. Saw it coming. Well, protection monger can be a nightmare. All right. Make an 0-4. Play an omen. Brazen freaking borrower. Boing. Resolve that. One more time for Yorion. I am not finished. We blink all of these shards we did not need. And all these walls that are blocking nothing. Finish the job. Back in the top 1,000 with style points. And we are back for the post-game wrap. And did I have fun this video? Yes. Yes, I did. Oh God, I needed this. It's been a weird season. I can't tell you enough. I did not mentally prepare for how hard it would be after taking a 7-day break from playing ranked to get into the mythic numbers. It was really hard, and I had some very tough weeks where I thought I was playing good decks and my rank was just tanking. It was very frustrating, but today things lined up and the mono red players showed up and they got farmed and the aggro meta appeared the way I always know it will when people give up on the new cards and just want to slam things into the ground as quickly as possible with the least amount of effort. And that's what we prey on. That's who we prey on. You don't want to put in the work? I'll put in the work. But Pegasus. I'm being sarcastic, to be honest. This is all part of a fun character and something that I enjoy doing, but I actually do know that mono red can be a lot of work, and if you have ever watched me play it, I look like a floundering duck out of water. But anyway, fish out of water, that's what it's supposed to be, flopping about. Just doesn't know what to do. But anyway, trash talk, part of the game, at least my game. You want no trash talk? There are channels for that. This ain't it. All right. Would I change anything about the deck? The card I wanted to try was Raven's Warning, but I think that Omen of the Sun is so much better in this build specifically because we play a bit of a flash game. We want to be able to do things like hold up a combination of Saw It Coming and Omen of the Sun. We want to ambush Selfless Savior so that Doom Foretold works. We want to blink the Omen of the Sun or flash it in at instant speed and trigger Constellation. Like, all of these things are harder to do with Raven's Warning, and it forces you to play sorcery speed, and I just don't think it's quite what we're looking for, the same way that Omen of the Sun is for this deck. Does this deck perform against a wider meta, against a lot of very good mid-range decks and control decks? Probably not. I would say we're most likely the underdog in those matchups. But if they're going to aggro us, we're going to Archon them, and they will suffer. So, if you want to go farm that nasty side of the meta, if mono red and mono white have you down, consider a little Nico Archon for your day. Thanks for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.